Hey everybody, I'm meteorologist Gavin Sandell. Well, while lake effect snow is not possible without cold air over a warm lake, prevailing winds are arguably as important to set up an impactful event. And in order to tell you the story, I want to show you what was going on today on Monday. You can see those winds are coming from the north. They were coming from the north this morning. Now they're starting to slide over to the northwest as that high pressure system is moving closer and closer to our area. As a result, snow moving through our area. But I do want to mention the winds as well, because this is something that's very, very important. In this terminology, we call it fetch. In the definition of fetch, it's the distance that winds can blow unobstructed over water. So in simplistic terms, how far does wind go from coast to coast all over water? And obviously we measure it in miles. And again, it has very, very big implications on lake effect forecasting, because it determines how much mixing the cold, dry air up aloft has with the warm, moist air down below. So in terms of fetch, you need about 50 or so miles, and this can be a little bit tricky when you're talking about the amount of distance over the lake. So let's talk about northerly winds first. Going straight from Ontario, Canada, from about that province to Ashtabula County, it's just shy of 50 miles, so you're already on shaky ground here. But now if you switch the winds from north to northwest, you blow from a different direction over to our area, you're adding 10 miles. You're adding a little bit of fuel that goes over the lake. Now let's change it to westerly winds. You're going all the way basically from Toledo over to Ashtabula County. That's 135 miles. You're doubling that distance. You're doubling the distance that things can mix. And that is big for lake effect forecasting, because the greater the distance, generally the more impactful these storms can be. So just a reminder, those winds, like I said, can be westerly or northwesterly or northerly, and it sets up the basis of these snow zones, or these very impactful lake effect snow areas. So from the western coast of Michigan to the UP of Michigan as well, again, these westerly systems with the most distance can have this greatest impact. So really the extreme northeastern part of Ohio, as well as northwestern Pennsylvania, Buffalo, you see these very impactful systems from these lake effect systems, because those fetches are long, giving it a long distance over the lake. And in the idealized scenario, if the winds are just perfect, we've had some very impactful scenarios where maybe 240 miles, all the way from the western portions of Ohio all the way to New York. And if you have that just perfect southwesterly wind, you can set up some very impactful events where you can have feet of snow. Also, Lake Ontario to the north, 180 miles from coast to coast, basically. Watertown, Syracuse, those are some cities where they can have some, again, impactful systems of feet of snow. But because strong west winds don't make it down to Youngstown from the lake, the city proper is not considered to be in the main snow belt. Weaker northerly lake effect is able to get towards town, though. For Weather 101, I'm Gavin Sandell.